Warm welcome to our esteemed guests, speakers, and our vibrant audience here today to the 7th edition of the CII Marketing Conference 2025. The theme this year, Connected, Conscious, Creative. We will now commence the inaugural session. I would like to invite on dais Mr. B. Thiagarajan, Chairman, CII Western Region Marketing Conference and Managing Director, Blue Star Limited, Mr. B.S. Nagesh, Non-Executive Chairman, Shoppers Stop Limited and Founder, Terrain. Mr. Vitthal V. Kamath, Executive Chairman and Managing Director, Kamath Hotels Group. Mr. Vinay Prabhakar, Sales and Alliances Leader, Deloitte South Asia and Chief Commercial Officer, Deloitte APAC. I now request Mr. B. Thiagarajan, Chairman, CII Western Region Marketing Conference and Managing Director, Blue Star Limited, to deliver the welcome remarks.
Mr. Vitthal K. Kamath, Executive Chairman and Managing Director of Kamath Hotels Group. Mr. B.S. Nagesh, Non-Executive Chairman, Shoppers Stop Limited and Founder of Terrain. Mr. Vinay Prabhakar, Sales and Alliance Leader, Deloitte South Asia, Chief Commercial Officer, Deloitte Asia Pacific. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from media, very good morning to you, and I extend a warm welcome to you on behalf of CII to this CII Marketing Conference 2025. We undertook a dipstick study in order to understand from the CXOs what are the current challenges. It has been an ongoing exercise. It used to be the manufacturing related challenges. It used to figure top of the list. Supply chain as a constraint came up for a couple of years, and there used to be challenges with regard to skill. There used to be challenges with regard to ease of doing business. Never we had come across marketing as a challenge. It never used to figure even within the 10 items that the businesses face, whether it is large or medium enterprises. Surprisingly, this year, it figures somewhere as 4 or 5. The marketing as a challenge combined with when you dive deep into which are these issues. Issues are connected with one, the scale is different today and we want to grow, and in that context I have access to capital. I can manufacture things, but I am unable to market. The second challenge, what they face is connected with the cost of marketing. It's not only advertising. If you take marketing as a whole, the cost of that is becoming a significant part of the business. The third one is connected with the sales and marketing professionals, whether I'm able to hire competent professionals who can deliver what I want to deliver. But most importantly, they are figuring out that what I thought was a cheaper solution compared with or a lower cost solution is not a low cost one. The case in point is something like digital marketing was seen as many of the members as easy way to get there, but it is not. It is more expensive than even the traditional marketing. When you go down to the CMO level, the impatience of the board or the promoters or the owners of the companies in expecting sales to and marketing to deliver what they want is also highlighted as a challenge. And in the recent times, in manufacturing sector, their problem is that the product introduction time is not given, and the product may not be perfected, but the goals are very high. The sales objectives are very high, and I am being pushed to sell these products, and I am finding it as a challenge. The fact of the matter is that it is, we all agree in every CII conference it will be coming up, it is India's decade. Growth is given, the market is there, we are going to grow. But the competition also is increasing. So therefore, how do we cope with this of delivering what is to be delivered? So CII Marketing Conference had been a platform across many locations, but Western region has been doing it every year, and it is a platform for showcasing what has been done by many stalwarts. For example, Mr. Kamath or Mr. Nagesh, they are icons, and there are many other speakers today who have done it. And their story again is very inspiring, and these are people who have built brands that endure for decades, and we may not even know what it took them to deliver what they have done. So Mr. Kamath will be known, many of you here youngsters will be knowing as Orchid Hotels. Many of them may not know. This morning we were discussing about Asiatic stores as something that they have done, or the Samrat restaurant, what it is, and how they continue to deliver the same quality or continue to build on that brand and endured in an environment where many multinationals have come in. So his story is an inspiring one. I thought I will be the oldest person in this room, but Mr. Kamath is a godfather to many of us, and his story will be inspiring. Then my dear friend Nagesh, many of you would have known him as students leading the retail revolution in India through Shoppers Stop. But much before that, I had forgotten, he reminded me that he was part of the Blow Plus team, that VIP as a brand to have built at that point of time, to have created that brand. That he will talk about that as well, that how the brands are created and how it can be made to live year after year, enduring, and most importantly, the retail or retailing in the context of marketing. And the Shoppers Stop is his baby, and including the Shoppers Stop bag, for which it was known that people wanted to have that black and white waves bag. You will remember that. So he has got a story to tell. And Deloitte has curated this program, that how this program should be different from what it were in the previous editions. and I'm grateful to them for sparing senior leadership to CII for helping us put together. There are many sessions you would have seen. All of them have, in their own right, have innovated, built businesses on different themes, engineering goods or consumer goods and services like that. And so the intention is to actually tell the stories, and through those stories learn and get inspired. So thank you for coming over, and it will be a pleasure interacting with you on and off the stage. Thank you very much.
I would now like to invite Mr. B.S. Nagesh, Non-Executive Chairman, Shoppers Stop Limited, and founder, Train, to deliver his special address.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Tyagarajan and CII for inviting me here. Let me share a story with you. I was in Kuala Lumpur with Mr. Ravi Raheja, one of our promoters, visiting for some work and staying in Taj Hotel. We finished our work and started towards the airport in a cab. And we reached the airport, entered the security. I was flying Singapore Airlines. And went and sat in the lounge when I realized that I have left my mobile somewhere. And this I'm talking about 18, 20 years back when mobile had just come in, and you can imagine how prestigious it was and how important it was, that mobile. So I said, let me do something. I called up the Taj reception and say I was staying in so-and-so room, and this is what has happened with me, and can you be of any help? She said, let me try, sir. I had lost hope. I was not sure where I have lost my mobile. Well, we went into the aircraft, and as soon as we sat, there was an announcement saying, Mr. Nagesh, can you please stand up? And when I stood up, there was a purser who brought a tray with my mobile in it. Yeah. Now, plane took off, and once I landed, I started digging into it, see how did this happen? I mean, this is amazing. So the receptionist called up the cab company. This was not a chain of cabs, some cab company, and said there was so-and-so person who was dropped, the two of them, size, age, what. And can you track the cab? So they said, we'll try. They tracked the cab. The cab driver was halfway back. If you know Kuala Lumpur, it's almost an hour drive to the airport. The cab driver stopped, and he said, yes, there is a mobile lying here. I will go back and return. Then the receptionist said, if he has to return, how will he enter the security? She called up the Singapore Airlines customer service and says, there's so-and-so traveling, and this is the issue. Can you do something? They said, we'll send our customer service officer to the gate, let the driver give the phone to the gate, and we will take it through the security and deliver the phone. Yeah. And I got the phone. Look at what happened here. 3 companies not related, have got nothing to do with each other. Yeah. 3 individuals who are not at the highest level of the hierarchy. These are 3 people who are at the front end: a receptionist, a taxi driver, and a customer service officer, and a call center which received the call from Singapore Airlines. What was very common with all 3 of them? The common was the customer. All 3 of them had only one objective: to say, how can I help this customer? Don't forget, within the time frame, because the flight has to take off. Amazing experience. This happened 18 years back. This is probably the 600th or 700th time I'm sharing this experience with you. It's there in my book called Serve. But these 3 businesses are brands by themselves: Singapore Airlines, Taj Group of Hotel. That cab driver, I would like to salute him. When I contacted him and said, can I send you something? Can I give you something? He said, no, sir, this was my duty. You are happy, so it's a great thing. So the first thing that comes to my mind for a marketeer is, how well do you know your customer? Yeah. A lot of people tell me, oh, I know my customer. I said, you know the customer of yesterday. Do you know the customer of today? And if you know the customer of today, do you know the customer of 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Or do you know the customer when she comes alone to the shop, when she comes with her husband or boyfriend, or when she comes with her family? I've already given you 4 into 4 into 4 kinds of customer within the same customer. Now, that to me is the most critical. Unfortunately, today's modern world has made our people who are in the market more and more and more distant from the customer. 50% of India's shopping happens on weekend. 50% of shopping on weekdays happen between 6 and 9. Okay, head office doesn't work after 6 and doesn't work on weekends. So the first thing is that we are losing touch with the customers because as marketeers, by virtue of our job, we're not connected. And this is very, very important. Let me go back to my starting days in Shoppers. I had never run a department store. I was not from the fashion background. And I was given the task of starting a so-called business in 90 days from a defunct property. And the only thing I was aware of is that I will go and ask my customer because I'm ignorant. So the second learning I want to share here is ignorance. I mean, as qualified chartered accountants, MBAs, we will never go and say anywhere that I'm ignorant, it's going to hurt our egos. But friends, it was my ignorance and the ignorance of the team which really helped us build Shoppers Stop. I used to stand outside the store almost every time and just talk to customers. Ask them feedback, positive, negative, whatever, and they help build. In fact, the country's largest loyalty program in department store. It's actually the world's largest department store loyalty program. 82% of our business comes from loyalty members. Came out of this because I used to talk to them and take slips of papers, name and address with them. And one day my secretary left me and the new secretary said, Mr. Nagesh, there's 40,000 chits lying in a carton. Shall I throw it away? I said, get it back. And I realized these were the customers I met over the first 4 years' time. And I said, these were my first customers. We call them first citizens. Today, 4.9 million customers and 82% business comes from known customers. So the second thing is about ignorance. And why am I saying ignorance? I'm not saying ignorance for anything else. Because if it is ignorance, then you have the ability and the humility to say, I don't know. And anybody who, as a marketer, says, I don't know, the whole doors open up to learn. The whole doors open up to learn. And that, to me, is the second important part. The third thing which I want to share is retail is a very large industry, especially India. India is going to grow as a consuming economy. If you're going to grow as a consuming economy, there is no way consumption can happen without retail. Because retail is not about dukandari. Retail is all about the last mile connect. And the last mile connect can happen anywhere. I mean, for example, an ATM is a great retail environment. But if you go and get into an ATM of a bank and you find all those small white slips lying all over the place, not kept in the dustbin, okay, maybe customers have thrown it, but you have created a very bad environment for that. So to me, retail is a huge consumption business, and India is going to grow through consumption. Just to give you some stats, 56 million people work in retail. Retail is probably the second largest job creation. Retail is an industry which creates job for people who are not necessarily graduates, 10th pass, 12th pass. And I'm saying retail, hospitality, service, restaurants, last mile delivery, all of them put together. So when you have a large industry like this, and today retail is close to $1 trillion economy, I mean, out of which 650 billion comes from out of food, and out of which 90% or 92% comes out of Kirana ecosystem. Okay, modern retail is just about 5 to 7% in food, and maybe 15, 18% depending on who's talking to you in terms of the modern retail in other businesses. I mean, when I started my career in Shoppers Stop, before that I had spent 10 years, I mean, modern retail was nothing. I mean, people attribute modern retail, advent of modern retail to shoppers, because there was nothing at that point of time. There was no software, there was no technology, there was no service, there was no training. People didn't want to join retail. So from that situation to today, retail is growing very well. Okay? So that's the retail scenario for you. The second important part in retail is, and it's so beautiful about the consumers, a consumer never gives it all. And I think this is something that as marketers we need to understand. We keep saying that, oh, this consumer is loyal to me. Sorry. The most loyal customer shops or eats in one of the 5 to 6 restaurants or one of the 5 to retailers. So this whole myth of saying I build loyalty is wrong. If it was the case, why would Walmart still have 10 to 15% market share in America? Why would Amazon have still 10 to 15% market share? Why would a Zara have only so much in their house? I mean, every retailer that you talk of, amongst the top retailers, have between 10 to 15 market share because the customer never gives it all. So because the customer never gives it all, there's an opportunity for marketers to get more. And therefore, we always keep talking about wardrobe share or kitchen share or How are you looking at the share of kitchen rather than saying, I want a share of a product, because the customer doesn't give it wrong. So that's the second part of consumer and retail. Now, when I look at these three and start looking at saying, how does one build a brand in a country like this? And friends, for me, brand is not a name. A lot of us struggle to create a name, and what is lemon, what is orange, what is tangerine, these are all brands, okay? These are just some words that we have played with. But a brand becomes a brand based on the relationship that you build with the customer. And that to me is important, okay? Chitle Bandhu, Kamath Hotels, it's a family name. Look at what's happened. So if you go back into the history of these brands, they all have come by doing one out of the three things. And I'm saying this because in 1991, when we started this and I did research to say, what should Shoppers Stop be based on? Three words came to me. I'm talking of 1991. Value, convenience, experience. Three words. Last month, I was sitting with somebody, a research paper was getting released, and they said, today's consumer wants, we're talking of quick commerce, today's consumer wants value, convenience, experience. 34 years of my career in Shoppers, these three words have not changed. So the question is, if you are a marketeer, you're going to build a brand on which of this name? Because I'm telling you, brand is all about building a relationship with a name, which becomes a love and experience, and then you start calling it a brand. My own journey has shown that if you're able to build the brand around experience, it makes a lot of difference. Because what's happening is product and services are actually becoming almost commoditized. If you look at value as a price, there's a huge issue. But if price plus is a value, then it's not a big issue. And the reason I'm telling you is, 2020, after the COVID, almost everybody said brick and mortar is dead. Online is the only way to go. And online started taking so much of share, and all of us were actually thinking what will happen. I had 200, 300 malls closed in America. Today, if you look at it, offline has come back. I was in Inaugural Mall day 4 yesterday. Kach. It was absolutely full. The food court, there was no place to sit. So if this is what is happening, you have to be very clear as to what is the value delivery you want. You want price, only price doesn't work in this country. Only discount doesn't work in this country. The current new generation of consumers are not loyal to price at all. Today they have apps which tells them and pings them to say the price has dropped at this particular place, just go and buy it. So price is no more what you deliver as a marketeer and build a brand. It is price plus, and that's something that you have to understand for your product. What is price plus? Unfortunately, in this country, we are building brands on price minus. And that's a huge challenge, because at some point you'll not be able to make money. So if you look at all those brands which have made price minus, okay, have become very big. 3,000 crores, 5,000 crores, 20,000 crores. But if you look at the bottom line, losses, 3,000 crores, 5,000 crores, 10,000 crores. How long will these businesses last? So value with price is an important part for you to look at it. The second is convenience. The whole quick commerce is based on convenience. 3 years back, 4 years back, which one of you ever thought that you want something to come in 7 minutes or 10 minutes? I think there was no need for it. And today we are saying 7 minutes, 10 minutes. I met a family, a South Indian family, a very senior person, chairman of a company. He was saying we were having dinner, and my wife says, we have curds only for 2 of us and not 4 of us. And he says, as I was eating my first course, I ordered on quick commerce, and by the time we came to the final course, the curd was on the table. Okay? Now look at this. The planning has gone off the top, whereas our housewives were known to ensure they are the best inventory managers in the world. They are the mothers and the sisters and the wives are the best inventory managers. You'll never have a stock out. Okay, just in time starts from there. And a situation like this, we have now gone and embraced a 7 minutes delivery, which is the quick commerce. But in the quick commerce, in the e-commerce, you have to ask a question, what's happening to your brand? The brand is built when the product or the services touches the consumer's heart. Okay, but when you do quick commerce and e-commerce, okay, the brand is lost at the time it gets packaged. I don't know how many of you actually know, most of the Amazon packages come in a brown packet. Okay, most of the Amazon packages, or any of these quick commerce packages, when they're delivered, he never says that it is delivered by Shoppers Stop or Blue Star. It says, delivery aaya hai. And the delivery kahan aaya hai? Security pe aaya hai. Or gate pe chhod diya hai. So as a consumer, We are losing touch with the brand identity when we're doing e-commerce. I'm not saying don't do e-commerce, but when you're doing it, please keep this in mind as to how you're going to connect the customer with this particular aspect of brand carrying into the customer. In fact, we tried something very different in Shoppers. It worked. We said if every parcel when you open it's the same, let's start putting perfume inside the parcel. So we started putting perfume inside the bag. When the customer opened, they got a fragrance which was different from any other. They, oh yes, Shoppers Stop se aaya. I mean, that's some experiment that we did, but I don't think we have really scaled it up. But these are the opportunities that you have. So that's as far as the convenience is concerned, but I'm saying the brand needs to carry whether it is value or convenience. The last is experience. I mean, brands are really built around experience. I gave you the fragrance example for convenience, but if you can really think of what is the experience, because experience can be built only when you are in touch with the consumer. And experience travels, experience grows. Let me share. In 1994, we launched the first beauty part in a department store. There were only two brands that time. I mean, many of you are, if you're young, you wouldn't have heard of that brand. Lakme, of course. There was another brand called Tips and Toes. Yeah, Lakme and Tips and Toes. These were the two brands. We used to beg. I mean, haath jod ke, I used to personally also talk to the consumer women and say, Madam, please lipstick try kar lo. Madam, thoda haath pe. I mean, she won't hesitate to even give her hand for somebody to apply the lipstick. Not far away, I'm just talking of 30 years, 31 years back. As that happened, we started doing trials and things like that. Last year in March, we created the Guinness Book of World Record for 1,000 makeovers in 1 hour or whatever numbers in Kolkata. About 6 years back, there was an event that we did in Select City where we had full day of makeovers. Again, it went into the Limca Book of World Records. There were 3 generations sitting together and doing makeover. And makeover is not applying lipstick on the face. You know, where somebody is touching your face. It could be a male touching your face. But this is the change that has happened. So experience is something very, very unique that you have to create. And the uniqueness of the experience differentiates your brand. And therefore, you can say, my brand delivers this. And this is, you can see in the restaurant business. It's the way the staff is trained. It makes a huge difference. I'll give you one example. Okay, I was in a restaurant. I know I can take the name because most of you know. It was Cream Center. We had a foreigner. Yeah, and Cream Center chole bhature. Yeah, now this foreigner loved the chole so much, so much, so much. He kept eating and licking the chole. Yeah, it came to a stage when there was one piece of bhatura left on his table and there was no chole because the guy had licked everything out of it. Suddenly, a waiter came and kept a small bowl of chole, huh? Just kept it there. And we said, we didn't order. No, ma'am, I saw that probably the gentleman was short of chole. I said, how much? He said, no, sir, this is from my side. Look at what happened. Observation of the waiter, customer centricity, okay, willing to build an experience. Now, again, this example I've given hundreds of places. That foreigner went back to Chicago and he's been talking about how somebody came and thought about this. Can you imagine this anywhere else? No, you can't imagine until the intervention happened. But in this intervention, look at the waiter. He was empowered to take this action. If the guy had gone to his manager and said, "Wah chole khatam ho gaya, can I give a little bit of chole?" The manager said, "Bill kar dena." But look at what happened. So as marketeers, I think we need to ensure that we have looked at every aspect of the brand delivery. The associate, sometimes we say, "Oh, I've done a great campaign." No, what about the associate? He's part of your brand delivery. And this gives me another example of somebody who called me from Andheri station long time back and said, "Mr. Nagesh, come to Andheri station. You know, there's a huge fight happening. 2 of your employees are fighting." I said, "Why should I come to Andheri station? Employees are fighting." "Mr. Nagesh, they're wearing your uniform. You know what's happening to your brand." So the question is, as marketeers, you are the custodian of the brand. How well can you actually hold the brand through the journey of retail, from the production to the last consumption, and of course, the post-sales and things like that. So I just wanted to share this part within the given time to say India is big, retail is big, opportunity is huge, consumption is happening. It's a dream come true for a marketeer, but it's tough to market because of the challenges, because you always are struggling between value, convenience, and experience. I would recommend, friends, go on to experience. The chances of winning is much more. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to invite Mr. Vitthal V. Kamath, Executive Chairman and Managing Director, Kamath Hotels Group, to deliver his special address.
Good morning, friends. I'm grateful to Mr. Nagarajan and Mr. Nagesh because now I can create one more brand. Friends, today's theme is connected, conscious and creative. And I'm going to take the creative first. I have only 15 minutes. I'll speak for 13 minutes and I'll take 2 question answers, and one from lady and from gentleman one, okay? I have joined my father's business at the age of 17. And after my engineering, I joined Satkar Restaurant, Mumbai. I wanted to impress my father. So when I joined my industry, this industry, first thing as an engineer, I thought, how can I bring down the cost? How can I bring down the profits? It was very difficult, but I looked into it, I realized you have to bring down the labor cost, you have to bring down the production cost, and you have to bring down, the space is also very important in the restaurant. So I designed this plate at the age of 17, and this plate has saved 3 things. First, the wastage of chutney and sambar, we used to give 2 bowls, and we have to first wash them. The problem is washing. If you are serving 12,000 idli vada dosas, you have 24,000 dishes to wash, katoris to wash. So we saved water, we saved space, and the most important is the labor and the noise. So when you put one party with another party, it makes as if there's a bhajan going on in the restaurant. So when I did this and showed it to my father, he was very happy, and I'm sure the idea of reduce, reuse and recycle, which was injected to me, we have used it. That the second thing, there was a hotel for sale, and when I met the owner, he said, payable when able. I met both the partners. So one partner said, we have not earned 1 rupee in last 5 years. The hotel was in Vapi on the main road. I didn't know where the Vapi was, but I was happy that it was a 3-star hotel. From a restaurant to 3-star hotel. But before that, I started another restaurant, Samrat at Churchgate, but I took this opportunity. I didn't even know whether to get a train from VT or from, somebody told me it is from Bombay Central. So I got 4 shirts, 4 trousers, 4 short pants. I realized, yes, there is great scope. But if you can stop the car, daily 2,000 cars pass by, but not a single one stops. So I put 2 boards, the cleanest toilet on the road. And we closed down 2 ground floor rooms and put a big mirror inside, then 3 standees for washing, and Dettol with a best comb, and 2 ladies inside. Any lady walking in, new comb with Dettol, and I taught my people, I said, you have to challenge the customer. So, your wife is not going to come back in 5 minutes, and whatever you eat in 5 minutes is free. He says, sure. Then you would order 2-3 things, eat fast, and the wife comes after 10 minutes. Now, he used to attack wife. अरे तुम पहले आता था तो सब फ्री हो जाता था. अच्छा आपने खा भी लिया. What is it? Now he becomes my advocate. अरे बहुत अच्छा है सांबार. And he will sell. He becomes my seller. He sells his wife. अरे माँ अच्छा है. और क्या कहे? पटाठा वड़ा. वो भी कैसे? बहुत अच्छा है यार, खा ले तू. So there is a salesman, my salesman in his house. Third, I wanted to stop ladies. How can you do it? The clean toilet is only not the thing. We had a small children nappy changer. Then we had children's game. Before that, I think I opened a restaurant in Germany. So I've seen every German Oktoberfest. After Oktoberfest, they sell the things which are lying. They have inflators. You jump over it. So we brought the best inflators and we put it in the garden. The children used to come. Instead of 5 minutes, they used to be there for 10-15 minutes. The parents would say, okay, tum maja karo. But after that, he said, nahi, main thaka hai, mere ko kuch khana hai. See, it is very important. Who is your customer, you have to find out. The children and the ladies. And if they say, we want to go to Kamath, father can never say no. Third, as we started after that, I opened Orchid. And everybody said, yeah, Orchid, 5-star hotel हम नहीं आ सकता है कामत साहब क्या है 20 मिनट आधा घंटा तो ऑर्डर को लगता है so I started 10 minutes menu. A 10 minutes menu, we put a watch in front of you. It says, sir, you start. If it is not served in 10 minutes, it's free. And we used to serve, we designed the thing that it will be served in 8 minutes. But every day, I used to give religiously 2 guests free. Sir, aaj ka aapka bill free. He used to advertise in Hyderabad. Or the Inna Spa, very good restaurant, Orchid. I needed people to speak about us. See? And it's always said, if you blow your trumpet, it will be heard once. But if your customer blows it, it will be heard 40 times. Now, from a single restaurant to make the India's best chain was not easy. But as Mr. Nagesh said, today also, at whichever hotel I am, I meet 40 guests every day. But what we did, the first restaurant of ours in Vapi, and even I opened a small bar opposite to behind income tax, and everybody said, ye chalne wala nahi hai. So what I used to do is, most of the, I'm sorry, how many Gujaratis are here? Good, good, good. Most of the Gujaratis will not let know the wife that they drink. So, am I right or wrong, sir? Yeah, I salute you for your honesty. So, what I used to do is to tell them, "Sab aap piche jao bache ko leke." The child used to come in, and then I used to give him crayons and a book, painting book. The father is having 2 pegs, and child is painting, and he would bring that painting to mother. Arey, bahut saru chhe, tame le jao fari enethi. Take him again, and he's happy there. See, a child brings you business. So you should know who is your customer. At Orchid, we have, till today, maybe 14 to 15,000 children. We go to school, we invite 30 students every time from different schools, and we show them reduce, reuse, recycle. I needed 2 crore rupee badly, and I applied with all big banks, and big banks never help. There's a system. It takes maybe 2 months to get you 2 crore. And someone told me, you go to this small bank, you may get it. So I said, I called the manager of the bank. He says, tomorrow my DGM is coming, you please come. Previous day, there was a school trip from 30 children were there. I addressed them, spoke to them, and as our style, we give a gift. So we gave him gift, and next day I met this gentleman, manager, DGM walks in. I said, sir, namaskar, I'm Vittal Kamath. Don't worry, sir, my hotel. No, don't worry, your loan is sanctioned. So I asked him, who sanctioned my loan? He says, my grandson won the prize at Orchid. Oh, the thing which I gave it to him, that boy explained the grandfather better than me. He said, Azoba in Marathi, he said, Yoda motha dhabdaba hai. And today, this young boy brings every new guest who comes to his house, he brings it to my restaurant. Uncle, you want to see the biggest waterfall? I will take you. Actually, he brings him there and he buys 3-4 cakes at his credit card and he serves his purpose. So who is your guest, as he said? It's very important whom you serve, and the guest, or don't differentiate young, old, they will be your guest. Bringing guest, you must have an innovative way. Friends, this is called Kam Kharcha Jada Charcha. When you do that, you don't have to spend anything. Mr. Nagesh, I was very inspired with your talk, but these are the realities of life. Now I decide to open one more brand because I am inspired by these two people. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, madam, you can come. 13 minutes. Like one question I can take. 13 minutes as to. One from lady, one from gents. Yeah, please, gentlemen, yeah, tell me.
Well, it is not a question, but
You're going to join me in business?
No, it is not
Tell
a
me.
question, but would like to express my most sincere, heartfelt gratitude and thanksgiving for opening such a wonderful restaurant in South Mumbai, that is Samrat. And every Diwali, every Holi, every New Year Eve, I have a very big family of almost, you mentioned 40 guests. We always come there for a meal in the evening. And there was a time when all your Samrat people, there are so many guests on the ground and first floor, at least 5 were dedicated to our table. Thanks to your spirit and thanks to your guidance, it is an experience we have never enjoyed anywhere else. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You are a true and a loyal guest. You are the one, if I don't get money, it's okay. But your appreciation will make me go further now. There is a शेर, जिंदगी की असली उड़ान अभी बाकी है, जिंदगी के कई इम्तिहान अभी बाकी है, अभी तो कर ली बस मुट्ठी पर जमीन, सारा आसमान अभी बाकी है. Thank you. One question from lady, please. Yeah, come on. Very good. Give her.
Okay, hi.
Your smile is very good. Excellent. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Okay, I want to ask you, you spoke about a lot of things that you started, right? Like the plate or opening up the washroom so that the cars start. So how did you convince people? Because nowadays, whenever you suggest something that doesn't have a lot of backup data to support it, you don't know how to push it ahead, right? So how did you convince people around you that it would be a good idea and you should actually try it out? Like it was a risk at your time.
Firstly, risk is the only risk when you take risk. Risk is the only risk when you take risk. One of the greatest man of Maharashtra, in Marathi said, अरे मुझे डर लगता है ये ऐसा. आपको डर लगता है? तो I'll tell you. डर को आज डर लगने लगा. डर को आज डर लगने लगा. डर खुद आहें भरने लगा. डर के मारे न हम रोए कभी, मुझे छुके खुद डर रोने लगा. So now, if you are into sales, you should not be afraid of closed doors. If you are afraid of closed doors, क्या होगा? You know why we are successful? My father had a habit. I have the same habit. I'm proud my son also. He is on the right path, same habits. If I see, if I am entering a restaurant from kitchen and if I see any product, half eaten or just coming back, I will first taste that from the same plate. So one of the guests asked me, how can you eat a झूठा खाना? मैं बोला मेरे भगवान का प्रसाद है वो. If you take that as a prasad of your God, then you can give the best. Now, don't be scared of guest. Don't be scared of teacher. Don't be scared of anyone. You wanted to ask a question, you ask. Please give her a big clap, please. Now you won't be scared asking about it. Am I right? Thank you. Thank you very much. I thank CII for inviting me here. Thank you.
Nagesh, thank you very much. Mr. Kamath, it was a very, very inspiring talk. With your permission, I want to ask Vishal one question, if you don't mind. Put your hands together. He was a Maharashtra state chairman as well for CII. So tell us about this generational change. You could catch up with your father. You had different ideas. He didn't agree. He gave you freedom to experiment.
So, for those of you who are from family managed business, it is extremely difficult when the first generation who has made it, they have a tendency of having a very big possession that me kela, maine kiya hai, and that confidence tends to not be there. In the next generation, the primary reason being various aspects. And I think the second generation also is equally responsible to build that confidence. So I go for so many talks. It's a very nice question, though it's not necessarily from the marketing forum. And many of these youngsters would come to me, and it's equally important for the next generation to prove themselves also. It's not necessary to follow in the footsteps of your father. And I don't believe in following the footsteps of a father because his time was different, his shoes were different, his paristhiti was different. So if you follow the same footsteps, you're probably bound to fail. But what you should follow, and that's basically what makes even a Tata family today into an institution or a Birla family into an institution, is following the ethos, not the footsteps.
Thank you.
So I think, sir, that's basically it, that I take forward my grandfather's and father's ethos, not their footsteps in terms of business, actual workings or otherwise, because there was no computer in my grandfather's time. His mind was the computer. Today, unfortunately, I need a calculator. So, so with time changing, we should never forget our ethos. And if you forget your ethos, then no footsteps will help you. Thank you.
I now request our dignitaries on dais to launch the white paper prepared by Deloitte on reimagining marketing for 2025 and beyond. Our audience can access the white paper by scanning the QR code that is on your table. I now request Mr. Vinay Prabhakar, Sales and Alliances Leader, Deloitte South Asia, and Chief Commercial Officer, Deloitte Asia Pacific, to deliver his address.
Thank you. Morning. How do I speak without a slide? Is it going to show there or? Okay, all right. So I need to have a slide. I'm a consultant. So morning all, an honor. And I strongly believe that we should have launched the book as the first part of the agenda. How do I beat such amazing stories from the ground, right? So what we thought we will do here is, kind of talk about few excerpts of the white paper. It's an honor to inaugurate this in collaboration with CII. And what we wanted to talk about was few excerpts of what this white paper constitutes of. It's a accumulation of all the experiences that we just heard about. And this is also on the back of few surveys that we have run, few design thinking workshops that we do quite frequently. One of them was a CXO forum where we had about 20-25 CXOs doing design thinking workshop. The topic was customer is the queen. What we said in that, and you will see that in the white paper, is how do you treat a customer as a queen? And what it means is how do you define a customer persona, and how do you get different, is it only the responsibility of the sales and marketing, or is it everyone in the organization who line up to be treating that customer as a queen, right? So the white paper talks about that. The second one, Nagesh also talked about it, the value, the experience, etc., which we call as trust. All of this leads to trust. The white paper talks about how do you build trust and how does trust enable an organization to build on top of it. How does that help you during the situation of crisis? How does that help you bounce back, in terms when there are downturns that happen, right? In this era of social media, etc. So it just talks about a little bit about how trust is so important from a marketing standpoint, and how does all of this culminates. The third one is about purpose, and we strongly believe that a purpose leads to profit, because end of the day we are all in that business. But however, just purely focusing on profit alone does not fetch you that North Star, but building on top of it, or what we call having a purpose. And we have seen anecdotes, and from the survey results we have published that in the white paper, which talks about saying anytime we feel that we find that there is a brand that has a purpose attached to that, there is profit follows that, and the business follows that as well. Technology, no brainer. We always said technology is an enabler. We always said technology leads to allows you to kind of scale up, etc. So this is a no-brainer. However, one of the things that we wanted to that highlights in the white paper, and which I would find, and I'm sure you will find it interesting, is the fact that you never know who your next competition is, right? So with AI and with Gen AI and agentic, etc., available at your fingertips, and that too at a pretty cost-competitive pricing, anybody who is wanting to start a business, a startup could be a big company to a well-known brand as well, right? Because of the use of technology, the right branding, etc. So the white paper talks about that part as well. I think one of the things that we felt is quite prevalent, and it comes out fairly strongly, is personalization, right? With the attention span of less than 9 seconds. I'm not even sure if anyone has a patience to read your content or be with you for more than 9 seconds. So everyone expects you to be, each individual customer needs that kind of an importance. And with the social media and everyone being trigger free, anything that goes a little haywire, and you will find yourself being on the wrong side of the media. Or all of these attributes quite a lot. So the personalization, which was not existing few years ago, is now an individual expecting you to give them a personal attention and give them that importance, irrespective of how high-end valuable customer that individual is or not, right? So the white paper talks about that part as well. Content, again, with the attention span of 9 seconds, that's basically what we are again coming back and saying, that content is so important. End of the day, we have and surveys have been run, and we have when we run our ROI for anybody, some of our clients, we usually go into how content rich is that? Is it actually giving you that purpose of the brand, so on and so forth. And so having that content to make it a little more personalized is quite important. And basically what we have said is in the white paper is why is it so important. The third and the final one that I'm sure and confident that you would find it quite useful is the metrics, which says metrics that matters. It doesn't matter, you would love yourself in front of in a YouTube when you see yourself over there, but then however, is it actually giving you the right ROI? And we have seen that certain times And there are a lot of clients who come and ask us saying, am I getting the right ROI for the investment that I'm doing in the social media or any other platform? It could even be a billboard, but am I getting the right ROI? And I think measuring those and metrics and measuring whether you're getting the ROI for all the money that has been spent is worthwhile. And that we cover that part as well in the white paper. So these are some what do you call few excerpts of the white paper that we strongly believe that will define customer as a queen. And I'm very happy with this launch and plus the event, because CMO as a business function is getting the due importance that earlier you would always find it ignored, as Mr. Tyagarajan already said that, right? So having said that, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for listening in. As I said, as a consultant, I do need a slide. I hope you found that slide useful. It wasn't a boring presentation. So thank you very much for your time, and an honor to be here.
Thank you, sir. I now request Mr. Tyagarajan to deliver the vote of thanks.
I have already thanked, we are extremely grateful to Mr. Kamath, Ganesh, and the entire Deloitte team. So you have a session that follows to be moderated by Mr. Ninad Karpe. So when I spoke to him, he was very clear that it has to be on time. He avoids following me. He wants his session to be ahead of me. And today it is just only 15 minutes, Ninad, that it used to be 45 minutes, 1 hour. And thank you for being patient. And I'm grateful to Varun Kaitan of Urban Company to have accepted my invitation. So over to you, Ninad and Varun. That the topic is the lightning talk, and both of them are good in that. When the program sheet came, is it lightning talk? And I was told that it is going to be a lightning one. So, and it will be an enlightening one that I know. So thank you, and I hand it over back to Vicky for the next session.